Welcome back, everybody, to Tell Me More Stories Told As podcast, where we just love to dive deep into these stories behind the headlines.
We take those like fascinating little rabbit holes, and turn them into like insightful, engaging conversations.
Oh, I love that. And today we're diving into the world of Chappell Roan, a singer-songwriter who's really making waves in the music industry. You might have heard her name. Maybe you've heard some of her songs, but trust me, there's so much more to her story.
Yeah, her journey to stardom, it's not like your typical, overnight success story.
Right.
It's been a winding road, lots of unexpected turns, personal transformations,
Oh, like that.
and just a lot of resilience.
Okay, I'm ready to unpack this.
Let's do it.
So Chappell Roan, she wasn't always Chappell Roan, right?
Mhm.
She was born Kaylee Rose Amstutz and grew up in Willard, Missouri.
Oh, Willard, Missouri.
Small town,
Yeah.
very conservative Christian background.
So think about like church 3 times a week, summer camps filled with hymns. Not exactly the typical environment for like a future pop star, right?
Totally. But even in this strict upbringing, her passion for music started to shine through.
It always does.
She was drawn to the piano at just 10 years old. And get this, at 13, she won her school's talent show singing the Christmas song.
Okay, that's a pretty clear indicator of natural talent, I would say.
That's sure.
But what makes her story so captivating is this contrast between her upbringing and her inner artistic yearning.
Mm-hmm.
It's like this tension fueled her drive to break free and express herself.
Yeah, and that drive led her to start posting covers on YouTube as a teenager, performing at local venues around Missouri, and eventually released an original song called Die Young in 2014.
And that's when things start to shift, because this song catches the attention of Atlantic Records.
Wow.
And at just 16, she signed a record deal.
16.
16.
That's practically unheard of in the music industry.
It's incredibly rare.
It really shows just how much talent and potential they saw in her.
Absolutely, they recognized she was something special. But even with that success, she was already going through this personal transformation, a journey of self-discovery that would ultimately lead her to embrace this new identity.
And this is where it gets really interesting. In 2016, she decided to adopt the stage name Chappell Roan. And this name holds a deep personal meaning.
It wasn't just a random choice. It was a way for her to honor her grandfather, Dennis K. Chappell, who sadly passed away that year from brain cancer.
Oh, wow.
She combined his last name with a word from his favorite song, The Strawberry Roan.
Beautiful.
Such a beautiful tribute reflecting their bond.
Wow, that's so touching. It's like she's carrying a piece of him with her as she embarks on this musical journey.
I love that.
And under this new moniker, she releases her debut EP School Nights in 2017.
For those who might not be familiar, an EP is like a mini album, usually a handful of songs. It's often a stepping stone for emerging artists,
Right.
a way to introduce themselves, showcase their sound.
And School Nights was definitely a strong introduction.
For sure.
It got a lot of positive reviews. Critics praising her mature vocals and songwriting abilities. She even went on tour supporting Vance Joy.
Wow, talk about exposure.
Huge.
Big time.
It seemed like she was well on her way building that foundation as a talented young artist. But here's where things take a bit of an unexpected turn.
Here we go.
Because in 2018, she makes the move to Los Angeles, and this marks a pivotal moment in her life, both personally and professionally. It was in LA that she really began to embrace her identity as a queer woman.
LA represented freedom for her, a chance to break free from those constraints of her upbringing and just explore who she truly was.
Yeah, and this new sense of self-acceptance started to seep into her music,
Totally.
adding another layer of
Yeah.
depth and authenticity to her artistry.
You can hear it.
This is also when she starts collaborating with Dan Negro, a producer known for his work with Olivia Rodrigo, another artist who's all about raw emotion and personal storytelling in her music.
Okay, so that's an intriguing pairing. You have Negro's knack for those catchy pop melodies and Roan's evolving self-awareness ready to be poured into the music. And that combination led to some groundbreaking work, starting with a song that became a defining moment in her career.
And if you're enjoying this deep dive so far, be sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on the rest of the story. We're about to step into the world of Pink Pony Club, a song that marked a significant departure from her earlier work and truly set the stage for everything that followed.
Okay, Pink Pony Club, released in 2020. This was a sonic shift, a bold move away from that acoustic-driven sound of her earlier releases. This is where we hear her embrace a more synthy, celebratory, and openly queer sound.
I love this song. It's so vibrant and energetic. You can practically feel the atmosphere of the place that inspired it, the Abbey, a legendary gay bar in West Hollywood.
It's almost as if she bottled up the energy and liberation she found in that space and poured it into this song.
Yeah.
And it's so fascinating how art can be this outlet for exploring aspirations or fantasies, even those we might not directly pursue in our own lives.
Exactly. It's like Pink Pony Club became this musical manifestation of her truest self, a celebration of her newfound freedom and identity. And while it didn't become a massive chart topper right away, it started to attract a dedicated following,
Right.
a community of listeners who connected with her authenticity and the boldness of her message.
It was the beginning of something special.
Yeah.
A sign that she was tapping into a cultural shift, a growing desire for more genuine and diverse voices in pop music. But unfortunately, around the same time, she faced a major setback, a challenge that would test her resilience and determination like never before.
Yeah. This is where things take a heartbreaking turn. Despite the critical acclaim and growing buzz around Pink Pony Club, she was dropped from Atlantic Records in 2020.
It's tough. It's a harsh reality of the music industry. Sometimes, even when an artist is creating amazing work, it doesn't always translate to immediate commercial success. And in Chappell's case, her music wasn't deemed profitable enough at that point, despite its artistic merit.
And to make matters worse, that same week, she went through a really difficult breakup.
Oh, no.
Talk about a double whammy of setbacks.
Back to back.
It would have been understandable if she felt defeated, if she had questioned her path. But instead, she did something truly remarkable.
She's amazing.
She channeled her pain, her frustration, her determination into her music, proving that even in the face of adversity, her passion for creating art would prevail,
You love to see it.
and that perseverance would lead her to even greater heights.
Oh, yeah.
But we'll delve into that part of the story in just a moment. Stay tuned, because we're about to explore how Chappell Roan bounced back from these setbacks and ultimately found her voice, her audience, and her place in the world of pop music.
Cannot wait. So we have Chappell Roan, incredibly talented, facing these huge setbacks,
Yeah.
yet she doesn't give up.
No.
This period really highlights her strength,
Yeah.
her dedication.
Totally. It's inspiring.
It's 2022.
Okay.
She's independent and releases Naked in Manhattan.
Such a good song.
Incredibly personal song.
Yes.
Groundbreaking for her. This is the first time she explicitly addresses same-gender attraction in her music.
Right.
And it really resonated with listeners. It was a powerful statement of self-acceptance
Yeah.
and like a step forward for LGBTQ plus representation in pop music.
Absolutely. And that same year, she landed a gig opening for Olivia Rodrigo on her massive S-Hour tour.
Smart.
Talk about a strategic move.
Brilliant. Exposed her to a huge new audience, many of whom were likely experiencing similar feelings.
Totally.
Heartbreak, identity exploration, the complexities of growing up. Think about reaching thousands of fans every night.
Huge.
It was the perfect platform for her to showcase her evolving sound and connect with a generation hungry for these authentic voices.
Yes, and she did not waste this opportunity.
Nope.
Following the Sour tour, she embarked on her own headlining tour, Naked in North America.
I love that name.
And these weren't your typical pop concerts.
No.
These were full-blown theatrical experiences.
She went all out.
She incorporated themed nights, drag queen openers, and really leaned into like the visual and performative aspects of her art.
This love of theatricality, this willingness to push boundaries, it's all part of what makes her so unique.
Yeah.
It's not just about the music, it's about creating a whole world and experience.
Exactly. And around this time, she also releases Femininomenon,
Ooh, Femininomenon.
a song that embraces her playful camp aesthetic. And it's just pure fun.
That one's so good.
It's a great example of how she plays with those gender norms and embraces the over-the-top.
Right.
It's bold, it's cheeky,
It's camp.
and it's just a celebration of femininity in all its forms.
I love it.
It's definitely a fan favorite. And throughout 2023, she kept the momentum going, releasing a string of singles that further showcased her versatility and her artistic growth.
Each single was like a little taste of what was to come,
Yes.
building that anticipation for her debut full-length album.
And the title itself was a masterpiece.
What is it?
The Rise and Fall of a Midwest Princess.
Oh, it's perfect.
So good.
Right?
Oh.
Just encapsulates her story so well.
Yes. The small town roots the ambition, the challenges, the triumphs, and that signature blend of sweetness and rebellion.
Ugh, so good.
Okay, so the album was released in September of 2023. And it's interesting, it wasn't an instant chart topper. It took a little time to find its footing.
Yeah, it didn't explode onto the scene like some albums do.
Right.
But there's something to be said for music that grows organically, that finds its audience through word of mouth and genuine connection.
I think so, too.
It's like a cult classic in the making. The
Yeah.
critics loved it.
He did.
Praised her songwriting and sonic exploration, and it steadily gained momentum throughout 2024.
And that momentum was fueled by a passionate fan base who truly connected with her message of self-acceptance, heartbreak, and finding your place in the world.
They saw themselves in her story, in her vulnerability, in her refusal to conform.
Yes.
And she returned that loyalty by consistently interacting with her fans online, creating this genuine sense of community.
I love that.
Me too.
Her 2024 Midwest Princess Tour really solidified this connection.
Amazing.
These shows were more than just concerts.
I bet.
They were celebrations of her artistry and her fans' dedication.
I love that.
And once again, she incorporated those theatrical elements.
Yes.
The costume changes, the set design, all meticulously crafted to create an immersive experience.
It's an experience.
It is, and she didn't stop there. She used her platform to give back, donating a portion of ticket sales to the nonprofit For the Good Worlds, which provides direct aid to Black trans people.
Oh, wow. That's awesome.
It's so admirable to see an artist using their success to support such important causes.
It shows a deep commitment to social justice, using her platform for good.
Absolutely. And speaking of success in 2024, one song from her album really took off and propelled her into the mainstream spotlight.
Which one?
I bet you can guess.
Good luck, babe.
Good luck, babe.
It's impossible not to sing along to that chorus.
Right.
This song became her fastest to hit 100 million streams on Spotify and finally pushed her album up the charts.
It's so catchy.
So catchy.
But it's also so powerful. It tackles the theme of compulsory heterosexuality,
Right.
the societal pressure to conform to heterosexual norms, and it resonated deeply with LGBTQ plus listeners.
For those who might not be familiar with the term,
Yes.
compulsory heterosexuality refers to this assumption that everyone is straight until proven otherwise.
Right.
And it can create a lot of internalized homophobia and pressure to conform.
Absolutely.
And Good Luck, Babe directly challenges that notion.
Yes.
It tells the story of a woman trying to deny her attraction to women and ultimately realizing she can't fight her true feelings.
Right.
It's an anthem of self-discovery and embracing your authentic self.
Yeah.
And it resonated far and wide, even landing in the top 10 of the Billboard Hot 100.
Amazing.
Huge.
A major breakthrough moment. But even with all this success, Chappell Roan hasn't forgotten her roots or her values.
She seems so grounded.
She's still that small-town girl who dreamed of making music, and she's using her platform to advocate for causes she believes in.
Which brings us to one of the most recent events that really solidified her as more than just a pop star.
Okay.
Her decision to decline a performance at the White House Pride event.
Yeah, that was a bold move.
It was.
A lot of artists would jump at the chance to perform at such a high-profile event. But Chappell Roan made a different choice.
Huge statement.
She chose to stand by her principles, citing concerns about human rights, specifically referencing issues like the Israeli-Palestinian conflict and transgender rights.
It takes a lot of courage to turn down an opportunity like that, especially knowing you might face criticism.
For sure.
But her decision shows incredible integrity and a willingness to use her voice to speak out against injustice.
Yeah, and that's what truly sets her apart.
Totally.
She's not afraid to challenge the status quo, to use her platform to amplify marginalized voices, and to fight for a more just and equitable world.
Inspiring.
Right.
And the music industry is taking notice. Remember that Google search suggestion we mentioned? Did you mean your favorite artist? Favorite artist?
Oh, it's so good.
It perfectly sums up her influence within the industry.
It's like a badge of honor.
It is.
It shows that she's not just popular with fans, but she's also respected by her peers, recognized as a true innovator and a force to be reckoned with.
She is a force.
And she's not slowing down anytime soon. Just recently, she debuted a new song, Subway, at the Governor's Ball Music Festival, hinting at even more exciting things to come.
Subway, different vibe.
Yeah.
A little darker, more introspective. It's like she's constantly evolving, pushing her creative boundaries.
And that's what keeps her fans coming back for more.
Right.
They know that with Chappell Roan, they're not just getting catchy tunes.
Right.
They're getting a glimpse into the heart and mind of an artist who's constantly growing and challenging herself.
Love that.
So what does this all mean? Big question.
What can we take away from the whirlwind journey of Chappell Roan?
It's a story about so much more than just music.
Right.
It's about self-discovery, embracing your true identity, overcoming adversity, and using your voice to speak truth to power.
Yes.
It's a testament to the power of art to connect, to inspire, and to drive real, meaningful change.
It's incredible to see how Chappell Roan's journey just reflects this larger cultural shift.
Right. Her success, especially as an openly queer artist, it points to a growing acceptance and celebration of diverse voices in the music industry.
She's often credited with leading what some call a lesbian pop renaissance.
Oh, I love that.
Her visibility and success paving the way for other LGBTQ+ artists to break into the mainstream.
It's like she shattered this glass ceiling,
Right.
proving that audiences are hungry for that authentic representation, stories that resonate with their own experiences.
And she's not just breaking barriers with her music. She's actively using her platform to advocate for change.
Her decision to decline the White House Pride performance was a powerful example of that.
Big time.
It sparked a lot of conversation.
It did.
And it really demonstrated that she's not willing to compromise her values for fame.
She's not going to just take any opportunity that comes her way.
Right.
It has to align with her values.
Exactly. It would have been so easy to accept the invitation and bask in that spotlight. But she chose to prioritize her principles and stand in solidarity with marginalized communities.
Huge statement.
And the music industry is recognizing her impact.
Yeah.
It's not just fans who adore her fellow musicians, are singing her praises as well.
Remember that Google search suggestion? Did you mean your favorite artist's favorite artist?
It's iconic.
It's so good.
It perfectly sums up her influence within the industry.
It's like a secret code among artists.
Yes.
Acknowledging her talent, her authenticity, and her willingness to push boundaries.
She's inspiring a whole new generation of musicians to embrace their individuality and create art that matters.
Art with a message.
Right, and she's showing them that it's possible to achieve mainstream success without sacrificing your integrity or your values.
And that's so important in this industry.
So what can we learn from Chappell Roan's story? It's about the power of staying true to yourself, embracing your uniqueness, and using your voice to make a difference.
To speak up for what you believe in.
It's about resilience, perseverance, and the courage to challenge the status quo.
It's so inspiring.
And it's a reminder that even when faced with setbacks, you can always find a way to rise above and create something truly special.
She's incredible.
Chappell Roan is a shining example of what's possible when talent meets passion and a commitment to making the world a better place.
Yeah.
She's a force to be reckoned with, and I can't wait to see what she does next.
Me neither.
And if you're as captivated by her story as we are, I highly encourage you to check out her music. Start with Pink Pony Club, good luck, babe,
Yeah.
and then dive into her incredible album, The Rise and Fall of a Midwest Princess.
You'll love it.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the world of Chappell Roan. We hope you've learned something new, been inspired, and maybe even discovered your new favorite artist.
And if you enjoyed this episode, be sure to subscribe to Tell Me More Stories Told as podcast for more captivating stories and insightful conversations.
Until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep telling your own story.